So whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vale School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & Kay with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Tucson Harley-Davidson is the pre-owned inventory destination with hundreds of pre-owned Harley-Davidson motorcycles to choose from. Save $2,000 or even $6,000 at Tucson Harley's pre-owned clearance sale. Now through the end of the month, Tucson is accepting 100% of all credit applications with low financing options available. Take a test ride and receive a free dealer tee only at Tucson Harley-Davidson or online at TucsonHarley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats football radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800 The Eagle.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, if you are watching our show tonight on one of our streams, we are streaming on Facebook, we are streaming on Twitter, we are streaming on Twitch. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes here. So go to one of our live streams because I want to show you something that you're gonna get a real big kick out of. But how about the fact that Arizona is bowl eligible for the first time since 2017. Arizona will play a game number 13 in a college football season after an impressive 27-10 win over the number 19 UCLA Bruins at the stadium. This defense just continues to impress week after week after week, except for the fact that 2 weeks in a row, they've given up real quick touchdown drives. That's about it. That's been about it from
turn off the
defense.
spigot. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. Turn off the water. It's done.
It just the pass breakups that they come up with in the big moments, whether it's been Ephesians Prysock, Whether it's, Tarkario Davis knocked one away in the end zone in this ball game. Ephesians, racing off the edge. And, they missed 2 field goals in the first half. He almost blocked the first one.
Yeah.
And did get to the second one. Huge momentum plays for this defense, for the special teams. We talked about how you mentioned how important it was going to be to get a big special teams play. Well, you got it right there. It wasn't a punt return. It wasn't a kick return, but it was a blocked field goal to keep points off the board for the UCLA Bruins. And Noah Fafita threw an interception in this ball game, but, man, he just continues to be pinpoint with his passing. The future looks bright in the hands of that young man at quarterback, number 11 for Arizona.
Absolutely. Just take a look at this. UCLA came in here as the number 1 defense in the country. They give up 68 yards. They're basically saying that you cannot run on us. And what did we do? We went right at them. I love that we just said our guys are better than your guys. And we went and we ran the ball. Sometimes we didn't run it, but we still stuck with it, and we continued to run the ball. We ran the ball for 129 yards on the ground. We did an excellent job. And then on the flip side, on the defensive side of the ball, you take away Shee's 20-yard and Steele's 18-yard and Jones's 19-yard. Those guys didn't get anything on the ground.
Yeah.
They were shut down. They were absolutely shut down. Those guys, our defensive line, and I was on the sideline watching those guys, and those guys were physical. They were handling, they were disciplined in the gap, integrity, being in their right position, not getting turned, not moving, getting moved off their spot. They did an excellent job, and then letting the linebackers. And Manu had a couple times where he had a guard or a tackle come up on him, and he just eluded them and made the tackle.
How about that one where he's engaged, like he was being blocked?
He was engaged with the guard, and he makes a good tackle, knock him down. He hit him.
What you just said right there, Glenn, is my biggest takeaway: is the discipline overall of the defense mixed with playmakers at every single position, at all the levels, right? Just guys flying. So nobody is getting off their assignment. You're not saying any kind of, when was the last time outside of that 40-yard pass last week you've seen a big play, right? Big plays just aren't happening against this defense. So they're being very disciplined. But then when it comes to coming up and stopping the run or, whatever it may be, like there's just playmakers at all 3 levels.
Yeah, and Stukes and Johnson, those cats, man, you can't block them.
No.
Yeah.
You cannot block. They refuse to be blocked.
That has been maybe to me, and I've said it all season, those 2 guys in the run game have just been such a huge catalyst part of this defense.
And don't forget Irby.
Yeah.
Irby be sliding underneath and getting this.
He came to play against his old team tonight.
Yeah, he was laying some hat. He was coming in there. Just all around our defense is just really just tenacious. And I describe them as, I was trying to think of a way to describe our defense of just how they're all playing as one. It was like a defense that wasn't a couple of guys playing good and then, the other guys were covering for them. They were just all playing as one.
And that's what I said last week. It was like last week I came away from that game against Oregon State. I didn't feel like there was one guy that just stood out above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And today you can say the same thing. I thought tonight, though, there were more guys. There were many guys that made plays. Made negative plays in this game. I thought last week, the defense just played solid across the board, didn't really give up much, but didn't necessarily make a lot of negative plays. Tonight, we had the negative plays, I thought, we're back. Maybe not to the level that we've seen, but still, I mean, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, 5 pass breakups. I mean, guys making individual plays to impact this defense.
And that Bruins team was like had to run junk, Glenn.
Yeah.
Like they were confused. They could not get anything going, based on those. What do they run? Pistol. They run so many different sets, especially with the 3 running backs or whatever. They just couldn't get anything going. They had to start running junk stuff there in the third quarter already.
Yeah, absolutely. Another great stat. UCLA had 11 TFLs. 11.
Yeah.
They had 11 TFLs, and we still ran for 129 yards.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw? I mean, how many NFL defensive linemen are on that UCLA Bruins team?
There's
a few, right? When was the last time you saw a line like that come into town, Glenn? That, I mean, you could just look at you could just look at those guys, right? And yet, although there were 11 tackles for loss by that, by that defense, it felt like the offensive line and Noah and everything had them off guard enough that they just, they were frustrated, right? I mean, especially those 2 brothers.
And I really liked the way Noah took a sack when he needed to take a sack.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't something that he just said, "Okay, I'm gonna eat this one." He didn't try to do anything elaborate. Took care of the ball, went down, and said, "Okay, let's live for another play."
How long are we gonna talk about the run though? Yeah. I mean, when he spun through the 3 guys and then eluded.
That was nice.
I mean, that was like an 18, 19-yard run on that was a third down run, right? Third down on that run as well. I mean, you asked DK. You asked the who was it, Carroll this week?
Brennan Carroll,
about his escapability and his mobility, and that JDL was the guy that you needed him to be able to do that. And you asked about he's in the poise is what he said, and you see that every time he's on. But that play alone. Clearly, he spun through 2 defensive linemen who are going to play in the NFL one day and then juked the 3rd guy at the next level down the field. I mean, that was when he needed it. There it was.
All right, 520, we want to hear from you. 520-848-1290. This is the first show we have done since 2017 where we can talk about it. And you have a football team going to a bowl game. 520-848-1290. Okay, I told you.
Baby.
I told you to go to one of our streams because I had something I wanted to show you, and here it is. give me some sound. Give me some sound on this right here. Wait, okay, hold on. Let me go. I got ESPN again in the background, trying to mess up my day here.
It happens.
Let's go and get rid of that real quick here. All right. Let's hear Glenn Howe back in the day.
That's after we won that game. We were bowl eligible. We were going to the bowl. Had some hair.
Oh, man.
Had the neck roll on.
Jesus, man. That was, you talk about hair. You definitely had some hair. We got to hear that again. We got to hear that one more time. Bowling, baby.
We're going bowling, baby.
We're going bowling, baby.
That's exactly what we're doing, Wildcats. We are bowling.
All right. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Phil. Phil, you are first up tonight on a celebratory evening, a celebratory homecoming Saturday night because Arizona is going to a bowl game. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. What is going on, Phil?
OMG. Oh my goodness. This was a beautiful game to just be at. And let's just, one thing I want to touch on, Glenn, you were talking about this defense playing as a unit, they're playing like they're one group. They're playing like a swarm of bees, man. They're playing like a swarm. Okay, I'll leave the desert swarm part alone. You're right, Arizona defense, and I think for all the Tucson people who are still listening in, you're underestimating this team. You've underestimated this team all season long, and if you've been paying attention, week in and week out, this team has gotten better. I don't remember a time for all the years I've been an Arizona fan, I can't remember a time where I've actually got to see a team improve week in, week out. And it is a cultural shift. It is that paradigm shift, and because of what the coaching staff and the players have bought into and what the coaching staff has brought to it, and it's really amazing. The other thing about this continued week in and week out improvement, we've seen it. We've seen it against 3 top 25 ranked teams 3 weeks in a row, so to speak. And that speaks for itself. Tucson fans, you better wake up because you may miss this one. And yes, they are going bowling. And early on in the season, my brother Paul, the Phoenix guy, okay, my brother Paul and I, probably at one point, maybe I did say it as well, but early on we were going, we could still go 9-3.
Yeah, we
wow.
can. We could. You're absolutely right. We could.
Think about that, because think about what you guys have seen. You guys who have played this beautiful game, you've seen this team continue to improve. Think about also, what was it? How many penalties did the Cats have tonight? 2?
They had three penalties.
Yeah, three penalties.
And one of those was because they decided to take a delay of game.
Yeah.
And that's a strategic.
So
I
it's
don't count
2.
that.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So that one, and then the only thing that didn't happen that I was really hoping to see happen, I'm still waiting for a pick six. Because everything else was there, blocked field goal. Yes, there was, Pepita had one interception, but like the radio guys were saying too, I didn't see it. I couldn't see it. But he just kind of lost a grip on that ball.
Yep, he just threw a bad pass.
But turnovers were not an issue. Penalties were not an issue. Unsportsmanlike conduct penalties was not an issue. This team, both offensively and defensively, I believe week in, week out, they are really believing in the program. They believe in themselves, and we're seeing the fruits of it. Because you know why? Because we're going bowling, baby. We're going bowling.
We are.
And as a Wildcat fanatic and a native Tucson, it's like, this is fun. Again, in years past, some of us would be going, okay, the shoe's going to drop here, and all our fun and excitement's going to go away. No, that's not happening. We've seen it week in and week out. The team continues to improve, and that is a beautiful testament to the heart and soul of the players, because they know what they've got going on, and like I don't know which player was that said it tonight. He goes, we'll empty the tank next week against Colorado.
Jonah Coleman.
Empty the tank again.
I think it was Jonah Coleman that said that. Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And so that to me is that's the heart of a winner. And again, there's still a little bit of concern as far as Tucson fans, Arizona Wildcat fans. You got one more home game.
Yeah.
You got to pack the place.
Yeah, they got to pack the place.
Yeah, that's it.
Pack the place.
Senior day against Utah.
And I think what we're dealing with, and a little bit on my part, I'm thinking, okay, UCLA, we're playing UCLA tonight. Oh God, okay. But I can say one thing: UCLA is a school that I almost dislike almost as much as the Scum Devil.
Oh yeah, well.
And the Scum Devil, I'm not going to overlook the Scum Devil. They're going to be like 1-11 when we meet them.
Yeah.
And
they got kicked.
But
they got kicked in the butt today.
Oh, yeah.
In Salt Lake City.
If they think they got kicked in the butt today, just wait till the Cats go down there.
Yeah, they got the horns knocked off of them.
Man.
Utah's mad.
Utah is mad.
As we say, oh yeah. As we say, the next 3 games. Is there an issue? Is there a problem? Utah's going to be tough, but
they're all winnable.
The last 3 games, everybody said the same thing. Oh, it's going to be tough. Oh, it's going to be tough. Was UCLA tough tonight? Oh, they're good, but they got 10 points, gentlemen. They only got 10 points. The big University of California at LA, they only got 10 points tonight.
I mean, who we looked like the number 1 defense.
Yeah.
In the nation.
Oh yeah,
in
that
ball game.
Absolutely. Well, okay, my brother Paul will probably have something even more encouraging to say and exciting to say. I can't do it justice. But, guys, I appreciate what you do. You guys who have played the game, bear down.
Thanks, Phil.
Bear down.
Appreciate
I appreciate what you guys do.
Thank
Go
you, Phil.
Cats.
Appreciate your
Cats.
call as always.
Bye.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We were saying, talking about how ASU got, battered 55-3. Trenton Bourget took an injury in that ball game. Unfortunately, although he did come back at least a little bit later, looked like he was throwing on the sideline. I'm not sure if he came back in the game, but it did not appear to be a serious injury to Trenton Bourget. But the Sun Devils lose 55-3.
8 for 29 for 40 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Utah got beat by Oregon by what, like 50 points at home the week before. So they were mad.
Yeah.
520-848-1290. Again, we want to hear from you. Let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll take more of your calls. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. Wildcats beat UCLA. I think like Jetfish said last week, I don't think we need to call these upsets anymore. And I don't know if we need to be rushing the field every single week now. Because this team is legit, they're for real, and they're putting themselves in a position where they should be winning these ball games.
How about first time they ever beat 3 consecutive top 25 teams? That's worth thrusting the field.
Unbelievable there. Yep. Yeah, first time ever. 27-10 the final. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group. Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
27-10, Arizona beats UCLA at the stadium to become bowl eligible. The Wildcats are 6-3. As Jed Fish said, they won the third quarter, going 3-0, undefeated in the third quarter of the season, and now the fourth quarter of the season awaits with a game at Colorado, senior day at home against Utah, and the finale on the road at Arizona State. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We were talking yesterday about some of the great games in great plays in this series. We had one gentleman checked in on our text group and said, please don't forget Sergio Vega and his 80-yard punt to flip the field. He said it was the 83 game, but it was actually the 1980 game that the walk-on legend Sergio Vega hit that punt to flip the field, and the Wildcats went on to win that day against the UCLA Bruins. You remember that? You remember Sergio, don't you? That's right before your time?
But it was before my time. Because 83 was my first year here. And I remember hearing about him because our punter was Ruben Rodriguez and Tommy. What was the other? We had Craig Schiller was one of our punters. Troy Lawton also was one of our punters. So we had a couple punters, but Sergio, they all knew about Sergio. Everybody used to talk about him. He had a great leg. I think he played in the NFL a little bit, too.
Yeah, he also played a little Arena League with the Wranglers as well. Wanted to update, we were talking about Trenton Bourget, the ASU quarterback out of Marana High School. Trenton got hurt in the game, the 55-3 loss today in Salt Lake City. He did come back for one series in that game after leaving in the first series with an injury. Came back for a series in the second quarter, but then left after that series and did not return for the rest of the ball game. So obviously we hope everything is good with Trenton Bourget. We would love to see him again starting for the Sun Devils when the Wildcats get to town at the end of the month. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Tim. You are on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, Tim?
What's
My voice is a little shot.
It should be.
It was an awesome game. I wanted to talk to you guys about Bruce Hill.
Okay.
I've been going to U of A games since we moved here when I was 8 years old, and my parents used to put me and my four brothers down in the knothole behind the south end zone, which was just wooden bleachers with spitballs and paper airplanes flying everywhere. And I remember one of the best banners that I ever saw, and this is back when they used to have the track still around the field.
The little black track.
That cinder stuff. Yeah. Don't fall down on it. But anyways, I saw this awesome banner.
Track, man.
Yeah, me too. I had a couple of running classes. You know, I'm also class of 85, by the way. Thank you very much.
Hey, all right. 85 in the house.
85, yeah. Centennial, right? But anyways, one of the best banners I ever saw at Arizona Stadium said Hill plus Bell equals hell. It was the best banner I ever saw because Hill used to throw to Theophilus Bell.
Yeah.
Right?
Bell.
Yeah. It was the best banner I've ever seen at any of the games.
I love that.
I want to pack the house again. I want to pack the house. I mean, tonight the top was a little thin.
Yeah.
I want to pack the house, and I want us to do the wave. I don't know if you guys remember the wave when it used to go through the stadium. That was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, we should have the place.
It was
packed.
a
These
little thin on the top. It was we obviously were on the west side. It was a little thin in the middle there on the east side as well, and then obviously probably one of the best showings from the Zona Zoo all season. They were solid tonight.
Yeah, and they
and
the kids
and
deserve
the band kicked ass.
They always do.
My daughter's in the band, and they really work hard. I don't know if you guys know this, but they do not let the guys in the band sit down. They have to stand the whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's that talking in the background?
That's my wife, Carla.
Hey, Carla, how are you?
She's trouble.
How are you guys?
Bear down, Carla.
It was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Tim.
I just thought it was great that you talked to Bruce Hill. That really made my day.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so glad we got a chance to meet him in
That was
person.
the second time we've had Bruce on.
Did he have the jersey with the number 1 on it, and it had his name on the back?
I believe so.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I'll tell you a quick Bruce Hill. I'll tell you a quick Bruce Hill story.
I was looking at him through my binoculars on the field. I was hoping that was him.
We had Mr. Hill on about 3 months ago, and Glenn said, "We're working real hard to get you in the Ring of Honor." And then the next week, right? I mean, there was announcements like the next week. And then he came back on with us a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's always great.
And he was talking about a couple of other black quarterbacks, and I was a Rams fan when I was a kid. So James Harris, I still have a pencil drawing that I did of James Harris when I was like 11 years old. So I thought that was really cool. It was very, very touching. So thank you for bringing him on. That was awesome.
Appreciate you, Tim. Call again in the future after another Arizona win. You talk about James.
Absolutely.
Talk about James Harris. The first Monday night game I ever went to was at the Coliseum. It was the Rams and the Steelers. It was probably 1974 and 1975. James Harris versus Terry Bradshaw.
Oh.
How about that?
Yeah,
and we had my mother took me to that game, and we had 40-yard line seats.
Wow.
About
Is that 'cause of your
17
pop?
rows up. I don't know. He may have had something to do with that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just know that I got to go to Monday Night Football. And it was something. It was definitely something to see. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. Arizona defeats the UCLA Bruins by a score of 27-10. We've got a lot to get to. In the next hour and a half plus, we'll review our keys to the game as we had them. We'll review our best bets. Man, that under continues to be the play. It continues to be the play this season if you're betting on this Arizona Wildcats team. And they continue to cover, boy. They have been one of the best covering teams in the country all season long. So, I mean, this Arizona team has been a good bet this season. If you're trying to win money on college football, continue to take them. J-Dub, you found something. We want to go back here. Jed Fish, when he was introduced as the head coach, and I believe, was it December of 20, or did he get hired in January of 21? I don't
have the exact
off the top.
Yeah, I don't have the exact timestamp on the video, but it was during the Zoom era.
Yeah.
If that'll give you a little timestamp.
It was the Zoom.
It had to be done over Zoom. And I think it's about an hour long. Brian Jeffries is involved. Obviously, Mr. Hickey's involved. I remember when he had his introductory press conference, and I remember some things he said about, basically what he was inheriting, but what he knew about the program, what he knew about the school, and what he knew about the alumni. And sure enough, I went and grabbed it really quick. It's only about a minute long, but I think it says it all.
From our conversations, there are a few things that I know. One, that we have a university that supports athletics and understands the incredible value a top-notch football team brings to a university. Two, I know we have a president and an athletic director who want to win and are willing to do what it takes and to put resources behind our program to allow that to happen. Three, I know we have a football alumni group that are excited and are anxious and are willing to help us bring back the successes of the Desert Swarm and the successes of University of Arizona football. 4, we have an incredible group of alumni and donors that have permitted us to have some of the best facilities in the Pac-12 and in the country. And we know that we can continue to count on them and build those relationships and even make it better day in and day out, year in and year out, to be able to continue to provide for our student athletes in the best way possible. And finally, 5, we have a student body who cares. We have a student body who wants to win. We have a student body who we will make proud.
So this is in the middle of like a 16-game losing streak, right? 14-game losing streak, I believe, is when that took place.
Yeah.
So, we all know, Glenn, you know better than all of us. You played. We know that the traditions and the moments that this Arizona program has had. We all know what Jed Fish inherited, and we knew it would be not. I remember the term was something like building, not rebuilding, because it was just ashes. There was nothing to build from at the time. But you look where they are now, 3 consecutive wins over top. They're going to be ranked next week. I mean, they're going to be.
They better be.
Absolutely.
Right. And so
better be.
They ranked last week the wrong Wildcats.
Yeah. So
Kansas State. I was like, what the heck?
Here we are homecoming, and I just love that part where he's acknowledging, the alumni base, all the former players, and the student body. And I think those 3 groups today came together. There were some third downs there where the crowd might have been a little loose up top or a little thin up top. But there were some third downs there, Glenn, where I heard a little more noise than you generally hear in Arizona Stadium rallying behind the team. And there's belief in that team. Those players believe. You could tell to a man. But there's some belief, I think, in the fans. Obviously, there's the diehards who believe they're going to win every game.
Yeah.
But I believe, I hear some of the fans maybe out there coming around and understanding just how damn good this team really can be.
Yeah, the chatter is really good. The chatter is really good. It's talking about how good we are, how disciplined we are. We're playing sound football. That's the thing that makes it so good, is that we're not winning by chance or, by just, a bunch of turnovers. We're just playing sound football, and our guys are better than your guys.
8 years I've been seeing you for these post games, something like that, Glenn, and I can't count how many times you've come in talking about dumb penalties or what was that or what the hell. I've heard a lot of that the last few weeks.
The dumb penalties were on the other side.
Yeah.
In this ball game. I mean,
Absolutely.
a couple of big 15-yard penalties from the Twins on the defensive side that kept drives alive for Arizona. I mean, that's when you know you're starting to really turn the corner, when the things that you used to do to lose games are now the things that the other team is doing that's helping you to win ball games.
Those Twins are getting frustrated.
Yeah, I tell you, their defense looked shocked that they have never been in that situation, because when they were on the goal line and when they made that little goal line stand on the it was the north side end zone,
right?
And they did that goal line stance before we started running the ball on them. They looked disheveled, man.
Yeah.
They looked like they never had this happen before. There were people running down their throats.
Well, we talked about the defensive linemen who are going to play in the NFL on that Bruins team, but I mean, the offensive linemen for Arizona are going to play in the next level. Yeah.
And Raymond Polito, once he starts getting a few reps, man, that kid, I stood next to where I saw him on the sideline, and I was like, man, that boy's pretty big.
He's a big boy.
He's big, and he's only a freshman.
Yeah. All right, 520-848-1290. Let's get another break in. We'll continue much more. We'll take your calls. Arizona defeats UCLA 27-10 to become bowl eligible for the first time since 2017, when the Wildcats played Purdue, and I don't even remember the name of that bowl game was up in San Francisco, but a game they should have won and could have won but didn't, and that's been the last time that the Wildcats have been in a bowl game. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be...
Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
I'm David Kelly. I've got Glenn Howe here, U of A football class of 1985, J.W. Madden as well. We want to talk to you tonight, 520 848-1290. A lot still to get to. We'll have the highlights coming up for you a little bit later from this game. Another outstanding call by Brian Jeffries and Lamont Lovett and Dana Cooper. And we'll also go back to the stadium. You'll hear from head coach Jed Fish, as well as Wildcat players Martell Irby and Jonah Coleman. Let's head back to the phones. In fact, let's talk to Mr. Dana Cooper, who called tonight's game.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, Dana? You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show.
Well, I'm driving home, just still got a wall-to-wall smile on my face. We don't get to see a period like this in Arizona sports very often, so it's really remarkable. But I wanted to share something that happened in the locker room that I thought was really cool and people don't get to see. When it took a while to get the whole players in there, of course, because the field was jammed, but as soon as all the players got in there, Coach Fish had them take a knee. They did the Lord's Prayer. And then before he could say anything, running back coach Scotty Graham jumps into the huddle, and he says, guys, the first game ball goes to Jed Fish. So Coach Graham gave Jed Fish a game ball, and the team just erupted because they knew, this coach has been giving out game balls. He deserves this game ball. And then he said, there's somebody else that I want to give a game ball to, and he gave a game ball to Johnny Nansen.
Yes.
And we know what incredible work Johnny has done to turn this defense completely around. And then Coach Fish gave out one other game ball, and that was to President Robbins.
Yeah.
And President Robbins came into the huddle, and Jed said, I was here 6 years ago with UCLA, and I had a chance to meet President Robbins for the first time. And we talked and got to know each other then. He said, it took me 6 years to get back here. He says, guys, but this is the honor of my life to be your head coach, and I want to thank President Robbins for it. And then after all of that was over, they were kind of wandering around back on the side of the locker room, waiting for the post-game stuff. And I'll be darned if Bobby Robbins wasn't carrying that ball around with him just like a little boy would. He had the smile on his face, and he even pulled out a Sharpie and had Coach Fish autograph the ball for him. And so it was really just a real significant moment to see Jed Fish getting a game ball, and then putting the spotlight of attention on the defensive coordinator and the president of the university. And it kind of covers that little sound bite that you had of what Jed Fish identified were the building blocks that were in place. And we saw that manifested in that post-game locker room. It was really a beautiful sight.
Yeah, I mean, Bobby Robbins has been an unbelievable supporter, and he really of all of the sports programs. I can remember I can remember during COVID, just when we were all in some of those arenas alone, whether it was men's basketball or women's volleyball. He's always there supporting these sports teams, and I know there's a lot of people that want to foo-foo his involvement, but I think that's what you want. From a president of a university, someone who really cares about the student athletes.
No question, because that he'll really fight to keep Jed here. So it's a darn good thing we've got that president and this coach.
Yeah. And then what was the singing of Bear Down like tonight? I know that it was crazy last week, Dana, but what was it like tonight?
Yeah, I was, I would say, even amped up a little bit more from last week, and it was pretty easy to get a shower because, the water was flying in there. Everybody's got a bottle of water, and they're taking it around, and you could have hosed yourself off with no trouble at all.
And they just looked like I was up top on the other side, but it just looked like that team was having a whole lot of fun. There was jumping around on the sideline. They were engaging with the crowd. They was just having a lot of fun down there tonight.
Yeah, they really were. There was one point where the offense was down at the south end zone in the fourth quarter, and I look down at the other end of the field. Here's the entire defense up on the bench and up on the chair, and they're leading the zoo in cheers. And you can tell that when the offense scores, the defense gets pumped up, and when the defense turns the opponent away, the offense goes out there with a real shot of adrenaline. So these guys are playing complementary football where one unit affects the other all the time.
And you know, Dana, it's really amazing what Coach Nansen has done with this defense. Has really changed the trajectory of this whole football team. Of the way they're playing is like just a gelled unit together. They're not, it's not like just one guy or two guys. It's a bunch of guys just playing so well together. And, we were getting calls last year about, Nansen they should get rid of Nansen,
Yeah.
And he just turned it around.
I heard one prognosticator say early last year, he goes, I'll have to wait and see about Johnny Nansen's defense because I just don't know if he can coach.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly coming out of this guy's mouth. And I think that question has been laid to rest. And one last thing I'll share, guys, is we had talking with Martell Irby after the game, Jonah Coleman after the game. I grabbed Jacob Manu out on the field, and they love each other. And that can be a little bit of a cliche, but the affection that they have for the coaches and the way they speak about how these coaches have not just coached them in the game, but coached them as young men, and the way they've loved them and helped them develop as human beings. They all speak about that with a glint in their eye, and I think that bears a lot of fruit. That's the other half of the equation here. These people are growing not just as players, but as human beings as well.
Dana, when you're as a player, I could tell you when you love your coach, you really don't want to disappoint them. You really don't want to disappoint them, and that's when you love your coach and you really care about your coach, you go out and play to not only to play well for yourself, but you also don't want to disappoint your coach. And I think that's what these guys are doing. That's exactly what I think these guys are doing.
Hey, and Dana, shout out to your daughter Kennedy for banging out that national anthem last Saturday night. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to watch her. She had her Teddy Bruschi gear on, and she it's always fun to listen to her sing. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. We'll talk to you again soon, brother.
All right, thanks for letting me share a few insights. Take care, guys. Great job.
Dana Cooper, the sideline reporter for the Arizona Wildcats radio network through Learfield. 520-848-1290. Let's get one more in here before we break for the top of the hour. Let's talk to Ivan. Ivan, you are on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, I just want to say a shout out to Rob, man. He's a big just shout out to him though.
You talking about Rob Gronkowski?
Of course.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he was
But when Jed Fish was hired, who the hell is Jed Fish though? What has he done? And now I used to be the biggest U of A fan, and I kind of feel very stupid because I'm a bandwagon, I guess. But what this guy has done is incredible, though.
It is incredible.
He has learned a lot from Bill Belichick. His team is very organized. Shout out to this guy, man. Just I feel kind of stupid being a Tucsonan and not supporting the U of A and the crowd not being there. And shout out to Jeff Fish. That's all I want to say.
Well, Ivan, as long as you are on board now, that's all that matters. And stay on board because this train is just getting rolling.
Of course, and thank you so much.
Putting coal on the fire. They're putting coal on the fire, man.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Call again. Hopefully after another win next week over the Colorado Buffaloes. That'll be an early start next week. It's a noon game. We'll be on there at 7:30. But let's go to Boulder and see if this team can continue this run and make it another win to get to 7-3. All right, we've got much more coming up for you. We'll continue to take your calls in the next hour. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day Post-Game Show. Wildcats knock off UCLA 27-10 with J.W. Madden and Glenn Howe. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you in part by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog and Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Pulse and Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. This season, Jed Fish will lead the Wildcats into battle, and the only place to hear the game, Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
The universal truth of women's shoes. The cuter they are, the more they hurt.
You have to put your best foot forward, and if your best foot is an ugly shoe, oh my goodness.
Lise Ann thought she had to choose between looking good and feeling good until she got fitted for arch supports at the Good Feet store.
Now I can wear the shoes that I've picked out because I like the way they look, not because they were comfortable.
Good Feet relieved her pain and her fashion dilemma. Stop by or schedule your free fitting at goodfeet.com.
Go to the Good Feet store at 4811 East Grant Road or at goodfeet.com.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. We will give you up to $2,000 straight in plus 0% interest up to 60 months. Manufacturer rebates plus 10-year parts and labor warranty on a new heating and air system.
Have an aging heating and air system? Out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
When you watch Wildcat football, let's be honest, you're looking for great drives. Everyone wants to see the offense take the ball down the field for a score. Another place in Southern Arizona where you can see great drives and score big this month is O'Reilly Chevrolet. It's Drug Month at O'Reilly, so you can get one of the best deals of the year on a new Silverado. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona knocks off UCLA 27-10 at the stadium in front of 44,956 fans on homecoming, the 109th homecoming at the University of Arizona, and it is a winning homecoming night, and I'm sure the parties are flowing on campus. What was homecoming night like on campus after you win a football game?
When we win a football game, I remember we went in back in my day, it was an all-night day.
Glenn.
Yeah,
Glenn is not allowed to tell those stories.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh,
Even
man.
when you used to win on the road, we played in the daytime, man. That was good too.
I can remember. I can remember. Obviously I did not play, but I can remember some parties after football games in college. After on a winning Saturday, there was nothing better.
Yeah,
nothing better than
absolutely.
going to your nice party or your favorite haunt and just living it up with the rest of the student body on a winning Saturday.
We used to get free beers and stuff.
Look out.
Wow.
Freebies.
Yeah.
Freebies.
Come on in. We just want you to be here.
Exactly. 520-848-1290. We want to hear from you. If you're out somewhere having a good time after this win, call in. Let us know where you're at, where the party is tonight, because we are going bowling for the first time since 2017. It was the Foster Farms Bowl. I said that bowl game in San Francisco back in 2017, where Khalil Tate, who was back in town for the game tonight, threw 5 touchdown passes in that game. I believe that was the most he threw in terms of touchdown passes in a game in his career, but Purdue rallied and won the game late. So, unfortunately, a losing night that night, and who knew that there would not be any more bowling for 6 years.
6 years
after that. But that's where we are, a chance to go back and do it again, and we'll begin to kind of take a look at what some of those possibilities are in the weeks to come. A lot of people believe maybe it could be this LA Bowl because Gronk's involved in it. So that would make sense that the Wildcats, I guess it used to be the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl, and now I don't think they're calling it the Rob Gronkowski Bowl.
The LA Bowl.
The LA Bowl, yeah.
I think we need to win about 2 more games.
2 more games for that one?
2 more games to get that
Okay,
one.
well, I think that's doable.
Yeah, that is
that is doable. 520-848-1290. Let's talk to our guy, Paul in Phoenix. You are on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
David, Glenn, and Kelvin, J-Dub, how you guys doing? I'm halfway between Tucson, Phoenix, heading back with a dear friend of mine, Bob. He's a former baseball player there at Arizona, and what a great night to be a Wildcat.
So you're not
Glenn,
you're not on the bus,
into you.
Paul. You're not on the
Not on the
bus.
bus
Oh, you're not on the bus.
Not on the bus.
You
I
got
saw
you
Paul
got
tonight.
You got chauffeured up there today, huh?
Got chauffeured. You absolutely got chauffeured. You betcha. You betcha. It's a great chauffeur. Yeah,
I got to see Paul tonight. I got to see you at the alumni thing. That was great.
That was awesome. You know what, Glenn? You have no idea how much that made my night. I'm like a little kid. When you introduced me to Clarence Farmer, I was like, there's no way. That to me was great. I loved Clarence. We have a history of so many great running backs when you really look back. And to meet Clarence Farmer was pretty cool, and I appreciate you doing that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Clarence Farmer. What a nice gentleman, man. That guy's a nice guy.
Great. Oh, what a good guy. Oh, my goodness. You know what? This Wildcat team reminds me a lot of the Diamondback baseball team that we just finished watching in the World Series. Just a bunch of good guys who like playing for each other, being with each other, hanging out. This Wildcat team is doing things that I can't remember the last time that it's been like this. And I can't even tell you how excited I am. Of course, I'm not going to brag and say, hey, guess what, guys? We're heading towards 9 victories, like I said. But you know what? If we get to 9, how awesome. But it is nice when you're sitting next to a fan like my friend Bob, and he looks at me in the third quarter and he goes, Am I able to say those 2 words, bowl eligible? And I said, no, you can't say those words yet. We'll hold it. Wait, So I'm excited, but you know what though? Just Jed Fish has created kind of a monster here, and I jokingly ran into Dave Hickey. We ran into Dave Hickey, and I looked at Dave and I said, Dave, I'm sorry. I said, what do I need to do? What do we need to do a GoFundMe to make sure that Jed stays? Because people are going to start seeing what he's done, what he's created, and the culture that he has created on this campus, and they're going to go, well, we could lure him away. Like, no, you can't. Jed likes us. He's going to stay with us, and if we need to raise some extra funds, I'm sure Glenn will write a check, right, Glenn?
Yeah. I'll dig in my pocket.
Easy for you to spend Glenn's money there, Paul.
Well, I'll tell you what, Paul. When you said 9 games, I wasn't on board with that.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Now it's looking. Now it's looking like we could get 9 games.
I know, and think about it. What if we get to 9? Do you guys realize how close we were to 10?
Yeah. Oh,
well, we don't live like Jed Fish said this week. We don't live like that. We don't live like that. Thinking about where we could have been.
Nope. We just think about where we're going. That's all we're doing, and I totally agree. Just a shout out to first off, the fact that I followed Dana Cooper. I love listening to Dana. I'm one of those guys in the stadium. I'm listening to the radio the whole time, okay? Dana Cooper is so classy, and what he gives us is the sideline reports spot on. And to me, it gives you just a little glimpse into what happens on the sidelines. And when he talked about different things like, T-Mac and how he's just so cool when he's on the sideline, and he's not going crazy. He's just taking it in when they were talking about that pass that they had to review, and he knew it was a touchdown. He's just kind of just keeping it cool. Dana Cooper, I appreciate him all the time. But this team, you guys, I don't know what else to tell you other than to say I'm proud of them, and I'm proud to be a Wildcat, proud to be going back to Phoenix, and you know what? We've got work to do, and looking forward to breakfast with you guys next Saturday, 7:30 in the morning. I'm looking forward to it. And you guys, thanks for everything, as always. Thanks for everything you guys do, and just keep going. Bear down, Arizona. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Paul. Hey, get up tomorrow.
Thanks, Paul.
Get up tomorrow and be sure you watch the Cardinals lose to the Browns.
I knew I was going to get off the air without hearing that. Hey, don't hurt our quarterback.
Yeah,
you know what'll happen.
We'll try not to.
You hurt our quarterback. Kyler's going to come in.
Oh.
You don't want any part of Kyler.
Okay. There you go. Appreciate you, Paul.
Okay, you guys take care.
Thanks, Paul.
I think it's okay to say that the team is 16 points in those 3 losses, right? That's okay to it's because that's just a fact. To say what if is not the way to go about it. But you can look at those losses and to who they. I mean, one score to Washington, triple overtime to USC. Those are really good teams. 16 total, and then obviously the Mississippi State overtime game. 16 total points.
Yep.
We throw out a few numbers here. Wildcats, the first Pac-12 program to win 3 consecutive ranked games since Stanford did it back in 2015. Would Blake Martinez have been on those teams?
Yes, he was.
In 2015. Yeah, that right there is pretty impressive. Also, Saturday, the Wildcats got 429 yards total offense. That's the most by any UCLA opponent this year.
And how about this one? Red zone attempts, 5 for 5, and we got 27 points in the red zone.
Yeah, I looked up the stats earlier.
That's not bad.
I looked up the stats for UCLA earlier, and they're like 18th in the country, tied, as far as red zone efficiency defense.
Yeah.
They only gave up, obviously, one rushing touchdown in the red zone all year long. But a lot of teams come up empty. I think 8 trips teams have come up empty against that defense in the red zone.
Yeah, that's a good number. And then this is a great number, too, is that they were 6 for 14 on third down.
Yeah.
Our defense
continuing to get off the field on third downs. I've talked all season about those conversion downs and how important that is. And this defense has been winning all season on the conversion.
And on the other end,
11 for 16.
Exactly. That was the crazy part, because I think at one point they were 9 for 11 or something like that. I think they came up short towards the end a little bit more, but the efficiency on third, that's why they won this game. I mean, if I want to point to one thing, it was the efficiency of picking up third downs for the Arizona offense and moving the chains. How many times like that Mississippi, there was like 3 games in a row, guys, where they went 3 and out to start those games. Didn't get points in their first 4 games in the first quarter, right? They were scoring 0 points in the first quarter. Moving those chains, getting those third down conversions. I mean, the offense efficiency, especially against that NFL defensive line today, can't tell you how impressive that is.
And the last Arizona team to win 3 games against ranked teams in one season, the 2014 team.
Oh, yeah.
That won the Pac-12 South Division title, beating number 2 Oregon, number 20 Utah, and number 13 Arizona State.
Wow.
520-848-1290. Let's talk to Doug. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
And I'm glad to be here. Thanks, guys. Bear down.
Bear down.
So fun. Shout out, Paul. Paul, you are an awesome caller. Love your material every week. Drive safely. And all the other callers have been great tonight, too. Let's keep it going. I'd love hearing from the community, not just because we're winning, but just because it shows that people care, And I was telling J-Dub earlier on hold that, this is the time of year when a lot of U of A fans would say, well, it's basketball season, and of course we love the basketball program, but it is so refreshing to be able to just really be fired up for football right into November and now into December, guaranteed. So it's just amazing. And, to be very honest, I think what maybe your first caller tonight might have talked about, how we've traditionally had some letdowns during a season where you feel like you're building momentum, and you're like, if we could just break through in this game, it's going to really vault us to something bigger and better. And then you'd have that punch in the gut where it just, the team falls flat or something. And here, I thought that was last week, honestly. I thought Oregon State was just so balanced, so strong, that it was going to kind of steal the momentum we built up in Pullman. But no, I mean, we played great, and really probably the best team that we've, might be the best team we've played all year. And then you come in tonight thinking, okay, well, this could be a letdown game. UCLA's got such a powerful defense. But, 27-10, we crushed them. And I'm just thinking of these UCLA fans that were sitting right by me, and when they scored their one touchdown, they turned around at us and tried to taunt us. And I'm just laughing like, go home, guys. Go home. And
that was all she wrote. That's all she wrote on those touchdowns.
And let me tell you how disoriented this guy was. He was young. He was probably, 20 or something, but he stormed the field wearing a UCLA shirt. So I don't know what he was up to. I want to say something about storming the field. I heard that, I didn't hear the whole interview with Jed, but apparently he said that there's going to be a time where we don't storm the field against, big teams. And I'm in agreement because that shows that you've arrived.
Yeah.
But I think each field storming that we've had made a lot of sense. Like when we beat Cal to end a 20-game losing streak.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Beating a shorthanded, terrible Cal team is usually not worth celebrating. But the context,
pretend
right?
like you've been there before.
Yeah, and then beating Oregon State, when they're that good, and now tonight it's a whole different context because it's being bowl eligible for the first time in 6 years. And so I would expect if we played the number 15 to 20 ranked team next year, and it didn't have any massive consequence, I don't think you'll be seeing us storm the field. But it was the context of what this means to our program. It's just another rung on the ladder, right? And what did Jed say? Like, lose big, lose small, win small,
win big. Yep.
last week we won small. This week we won big. So it's just so exciting. And I wanted to say I think sellouts are a little bit overrated. Now I'm not in charge of finance, so obviously the revenue would be great if you can sell the extra 5,000 or whatever seats that we needed. But I'd rather have 45,000, 40,000 people that really want to be there, really want to make noise, rather than throw in another 5,000 who are just there to, watch their phones throughout the game. So I thought the crowd tonight, I'm the biggest critic of our crowd when they're disappointing, but I thought the crowd was fantastic tonight. I loved that.
They were good. I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I wouldn't use the word fantastic, but they were good.
Relative.
They were good.
Yeah, we're talking context. Our baseline is not somebody else's. It's not an SEC crowd baseline. I mean, let's be honest, but relative to what we've been, I thought it was a big step up.
For a player's perspective, I'm going to tell you, when I walked out and went to 58,000 when we played Arizona State and we played UCLA and saw that is exciting. That is exciting for a player to see every single part of that stadium filled.
Absolutely. I'm sure it would be. Yeah.
And that's what I would hope for these guys, for these kids to get, because there's no better feeling than that, man.
Oh, and they deserve it. I mean, they completely deserve it.
Absolutely.
And, I mean, I was talking to J-Dub about this, too. I'm going to show up even when they're losing 20 straight, okay? But not everyone is like that. And I understand there's money involved, there's babysitters, there's how much does the beer cost, whatever. There's always an excuse. But if it takes winning to draw a crowd, then let's win.
Maybe we need to get some chains for Coach Fish, because Dion went to Boulder and they sold out every single game. And they got the TCU win to start the year. Don't get me wrong, it was a huge win. But look at what Arizona's done on the football field this year, right, relative to what they've done up there in Boulder. And it's just it's a completely different scenario. Like, Arizona's success on the field hasn't shown itself in sellout crowds. Like, in every single game up there has been sold out. So I think.
What did you say he needs?
Some gold chains.
Yeah. Oh, he needs bling. He needs some bling.
Yeah. He needs to get some sunglasses and get an Instagram account.
Go ahead. Go. I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Go. This is what really bothers me is that Boulder has a population of 102,000 people. We got 1.1.
Boulder, I get it.
I know.
Boulder's suburban Denver.
Okay. Yes, but we can't get 50G.
Glenn, let me tell you, I posted this on X, Twitter, whatever it's called. But in the mid '80s, I think it was 1984. I looked up the stats. That's when Tucson broke the 500,000 barrier in population, and we were selling out a 56,000 seat Arizona Stadium. Yeah. That means literally more than one out of 10 human beings in our county was at the stadium on a Saturday night.
And every house since then that's been built has been built for Midwest and East Coast people to move out here who already have allegiances to Michigan or Ohio State or something else, right?
Yeah. I hear you, but I'm just saying, in terms of the numbers, now 1.1 million in a 50,000 seat stadium, you only need 1 out of 20 humans to show up. It should be doable.
Yeah, but it should be. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I had a few other points if I can go through them.
Real quick, Doug.
Fish. Jed's got to be coach of the year in this conference.
Oh, I don't think there's any question.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about, everyone's really hyped about the defensive progress, obviously, and as well they should be. But to me, one of the biggest breakthroughs is offensive third downs.
Yeah.
Because that keeps your defense off the field, that sustains drives, keeps these other, the Caleb Williamses and the Bo Nixes and all these other guys off the field, because you're sustaining drives. And our ability, it's play calling, it's receivers making tough catches and running great routes, it's blocking by the tight ends, it's all of it.
11
but just
for 16.
Continuing those drives is huge.
11 for 16, that's not bad.
That if you go back and look through our lean years, look at the third down offensive stats. It was ugly. So. Yeah. And the last thing I just want to say is, a lot of people are still dwelling on losing to USC, but you also have to balance it out with the fact that we were probably supposed to lose to Stanford the way we played that game. And so I just chalk that up to it's old news, can't worry about it, can't change it, but they kind of cancel each other out. So maybe we should have lost to Stanford. We should have beat USC. So that was my last thought, is just enjoy what we've got. I don't know where it's going to wind up, but I'm gassing up the tank. I'm going to the bowl game. I don't care if it's in Shreveport, Louisiana. I'm going, and that's exciting. I'm fired up. I love it. So that's it.
Man, I had to spend New Year's Eve in Shreveport back in the day when they played that last time there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My
Boston
gosh.
College, I think it was.
Yeah,
right?
Boston College.
Hey,
That was
Why did you just slide on down to,
that was
to
when
New Orleans?
I didn't have a slide on down to New Orleans budget for when I was working at KOLD. But that was when they brought that faux band. Remember they hired some band from down there to impersonate the Pride of Arizona because something happened and the band couldn't go that year.
Got a break, right?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to say about bowl games, like in popular like sports radio, national sports talk radio, everyone talks about, there's too many bowls, they're meaningless. But when you're a program on the rise, it really is a milestone. It really is a reward. And not just for the players. Let me tell you, the whole Pride of Arizona, the Spirit Squads, and all those kids, they get to go on a road trip now, an extra vacation. They're going to work, but they get to get out of town and follow the team, that whole crew. So I'm happy for them, too.
They get extra practice and they get a swag bag. But the thing is that the number of bowls may not appeal to the masses of TV watchers. But for the players whose program has not made it to a bowl in X number of years, obviously, it means the world. Doesn't matter what the bowl is.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to watch Kansas Air Force or whatever, but for us to be involved in it, that's what it means. It's for our program, like you said, the extra practices, all of that.
Air Force lost today, by the way, DK.
Yeah, did they?
No. Yeah, they did.
To Army?
They did.
The Army.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're still
wow.
undefeated in conference, though.
Yeah.
They were trying to wrap up the Commander-in-Chief trophy with that win today. Doug, we appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for the time, guys.
Thank you.
a lot. Great call.
All right, let's get another break in here. We've got much more to go. Still highlights ahead. Well, let's do before we go to break. Let's review our best bets. Let's do that here.
How did the 1290 crew do today with their best bets? Let's find out how they did in today's pregame show. Today's best bets are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, the Wildcats were a 2.5-point underdog. We all took the 2.5 points. The Wildcats win by 17. Cash and checks on that one. And the over-under on this one was 49.5, which was as low as it has been all season. I thought it was a little bit too low. You and I both thought that was too low.
And cocky about it, too.
Exactly. Kelvin was the only one that had the under on that. He stayed with the under, which has been the play all season long. So Kelvin Efon cashing 2 tickets tonight. Glenn and I pushing our money to the center of the table, getting the spread right, but not right on the over-under. So there you go. That's the best bets for tonight.
And that's how the 1290 crew did with their best bets. Today's best bets were brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
You know, DK, what those lines makers in Vegas have been paying attention to? Remember
What's that?
How we were talking about the differential in average points that offenses come in against this Arizona defense, and there have been 10 under. Sure enough, Oregon State 36.4. They scored 24 points. UCLA averages 30.9 and managed 10 points tonight. So the under, I think they're looking at the numbers that Arizona defense is holding teams to, and that's why you're seeing such low numbers.
Yeah. I mean, it's they just know what they're doing there. They absolutely know what they're doing in Vegas, because I thought that number was a little bit low.
That's why they
today.
keep building them.
That's why they keep building the massive hotels.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Keep building them.
All right, we'll get a break in here. We'll come back. Much more. We'll continue to take your calls as long as you want to bring them into us. 520-848-1290. Arizona beats UCLA 27-10. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, the Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking K UCLA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, and University Termite and Pest Control.
As a homeowner, you've probably seen some pretty bad plumbing problems.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
We've seen them all.
All of them?
Rams Plumbing kept entire buildings flowing. Businesses since 1983.
Wow, so whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated, Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in-ready homes and special incentives. Live RockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite.
Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Arizona Wildcats beat the UCLA Bruins 27-10. We'll have the highlights coming up for you shortly here, as well as we'll go back down to the stadium. You'll hear from Jed Fish. You'll hear from Martell Irby, as well as I believe Jonah Coleman spoke after the ball game. We may even let you hear a little bit of what Chip Kelly had to say after this one. And the Wildcats now bowl eligible for the first time since 2017. 520-848-1290. We want to hear from you on how you're feeling on this early Sunday morning now, and going to a bowl with something we have not been able to say for quite a while here in Tucson. Let's talk to Danny. You're on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, good evening, guys. Nice win, huh?
Absolutely, Danny. Great win.
Hey, you know what? I didn't call, I don't want to talk X's and O's. I've enjoyed and I look forward to and count on, J-Dub and Kelpon during basketball. And, I'm excited for, you, David, for this season. But I wanted to be supportive of it, of your program. I had said before, J-Dub knows I gave up my football tickets like 12, 14 years ago. I couldn't take it. But I've got kids waiting for me to die for my basketball seats, right? Two college-age kids with girls, and they're like, well, they know where it's coming on that. But hey, you can't argue with it, right? They're 6-3, a play or two away from, 7-2, but we can't go backwards. So, I'm going to be supportive no matter what. I'm an alumnus. I got both my degrees here. I have my business here in town. And I just wanted to tell you guys, listening to all the different calls, from the guy whose kids are in the band to stories from the past, hell, I'm from the Dick Tomey, Larry Smith era, and Dick used to have people at his house, on the gatherings. And he was one of the greatest guys or nicest coaches I ever knew. And Jed Fish seems to have, to me, a similar personality. What do you think?
I don't think there's any question about that. I mean, I wasn't around during the Dick Tomey era, but I've heard those types of stories about him, that he was, kind of a folksy guy. We heard that today from Pete Russell, how he talked about playing on that softball team, or the baseball team, which I've heard so much about. That was, Dick Tomey and a bunch of members of the media. How many coaches? And I don't know. I don't know if Jed Fish would have a baseball team and invited members of the media to play on it. I don't know if he's that kind of Dick Tomey kind of guy, but I mean, he's definitely
got a little ways to compare him to Dick Tomey.
You know what?
Got a little ways to compare him to Dick
David,
Tomey.
I appreciate you saying that. Because he used to play in the Open City League with us.
Yeah.
I didn't play with him, but I played against him. He's like 50, and he's out there in the Open City League.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we played.
I'm
I played
sorry.
against,
I'm 61. Yeah. You did, Kelvin, right?
No, Glenn.
Glenn played. He played in that.
You did, Glenn, Kelvin.
Hey,
sorry,
Danny.
I got people in the car.
Danny, how many years did you have season tickets, and what was the final straw that made you give them up?
Oh, gosh. Well, I graduated in 87 with my master's degree in 87, so I think I had tickets since probably 81 or 82.
So 25, 30 years.
Was my first year. Yeah. And you know what? D-Dub, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, sorry, Glenn. I just got a couple people in the car, but I don't know. I think it was just, one of the guys said, well, maybe with the fickle fans, maybe they just, need the team to win. I'm like, well, there's a heck of a concept.
Yeah.
And it is attributable. I'm sure there are thousands of people that are just like me that said, you know what, I can't put up with this much pain. Maybe if I was a Bears fan or something, I would have been ready for it,
Yeah, I was talking to...
Sorry, I don't have a better answer.
It makes perfect sense. I was talking to another caller offline, and it was a similar conversation about longtime ticket holders at the U of A who, those late 80s teams, Glenn, that were late 90s teams, there have been pockets of great success, but building upon that and then stringing together 3, 4, 5, 10-win seasons in a row, building the bowl and that kind of thing. If it goes down to 5 wins instead, I think, and then trails in a couple of years happens like that. I know some fans, there is always going to be fans who are going to be there, support the team no matter what, support the program no matter what. But I believe those thin areas of the crowd, sometimes that can be attributed in a town like this to people who had gone to games and not seen 3 consecutive wins over top 25 teams like we've seen these last 4 weeks, right? Yeah. They've seen some letdown losses, and that led to maybe them not coming back. And again, I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying I kind of see that how it is. It doesn't mean that I think winning cures it all. And I think that the crowds are just going to get bigger and bigger the more that they win.
Yeah.
Sure. And just if I may add to that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Glenn.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I look back on my recollection, so 81 to 87, I started in school and been here ever since. The best game or most fun I've ever been at, well, to me, it was no doubt the Fiesta Bowl when Miami came in and they're all that, stomping on our logo, and we just kicked their ass. You know what I mean? But, there were some great, and, they talk about the crowds. We had, I think, John Lee, the field goal kicker at UCLA, missed the field goal in front of a packed house
83.
and ESPN. Does that sound right, Glenn?
Yeah, that's 83. That was 83.
Okay. Well, I know you're there.
Yeah.
And but I just appreciate your show, and again, like I said, I've been around. I call the basketball show, and J-Double I'll talk up the air sometimes, and I just want to be supportive. And it really feels good to listen to all the people calling in, and with the different viewpoints or angles of how good it makes them feel. It's like I'm always proud to be a Wildcat. You know what I mean?
Winning does that.
Well, Danny, we'll look for.
Maybe they need to win. Yeah,
exactly.
So listen, I'll be turning you on when we go home from the tune-up on Monday night against Morgan State, and unfortunately, Cameron might not make my bucket list ever since I'm not going this year. But Friday night's a big deal.
It is.
So let's do this. I can't think of somebody I'd rather have us beat than Deion Sanders. I don't need to expound upon that. I'm sure.
It was funny that at the beginning of the season that was an automatic dub. Then it became I don't know, and now I think it's back to an automatic dub. You got to win that game. Got to win that game.
Well, that's awesome, and hey, I appreciate you guys having me on. Bear down, go Cats, and let's go.
All right.
Oh yeah. So hey, the bowl game can be a big deal too because that guy was talking. He'll put gas in his car. I'll go wherever. Wherever bowl game it is. I've been to Holiday Bowls. Nick Foles, was that the Sun Bowl? Is that where we were?
No, he was in the Nick Foles, I think, was in the New Mexico Bowl? Or no, that was
it wasn't. Was it Las Vegas?
Las Vegas. Yes, it was. Las Vegas.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
That was a great game.
Memories.
BYU.
Yeah, and we were there, and some of the memories fade when you were maybe had them in a beer.
That was
I was there at that game. That was great. Yep. Cold as hell, though. It was cold.
That's right. That's right. It's like I remember I was telling J-Dub the last time I was at a Final Four, our Final Four, I've been to all of our Final Fours, and I'm like, I was talking to some friends this summer playing golf, and I'm like, I was 39. The last time I was at a Final Four, my body doesn't perform the way it did. You know what I mean? So, hey, thank you guys so much. Again, I just wanted to show support, and comment on how much I enjoy us, the people of Eric Tucson enjoying it, and it really is great. And, I'm happy to see what they're doing. Let's go. Let's see 9-3.
Absolutely.
Bear down.
Appreciate you, Daddy.
Bear down. Thanks,
Thank
Danny.
you so much.
All right.
Thanks, Danny.
Actually, we'll correct ourselves. It was Willie that went to the Las Vegas Bowl. It was Nick that played in the Holiday Bowl against Nebraska in 2009. That was not a good night.
That was not a good
That was not a good night. 33-0. I remember being at that game. That was the first, because I did not get a chance to go to the Las Vegas Bowl, but I did go to the Holiday Bowl my second year working here. And then they played the next year, I believe in 2010. Let me just look at this real quick
While you're looking at that, you want to hear a funny small town Tucson story?
Absolutely.
So Danny called in here for 15, 20, 30, 50 years, a long time. He's been a long time caller. Since before I worked here, when I was a caller on the station, Danny called in. I didn't find out until a couple years ago that his sister was my boss when I worked at Frog for all those years. So
Really?
Small world. Yeah, you know how Tucson's all a bunch of rings and everybody's got interconnected friends circles. Yeah, so Caller Danny, actually, I know his sister pretty well.
Wow.
So the next year was the Alamo Bowl against Oklahoma State. That didn't end well either. 36-10. So Nick Foles' 2 bowl games, they lost a combined score of 69-10.
Wow.
Yeah, but he's got a Super Bowl ring, so he's not complaining. All right, let's review our keys to the game for and what we thought Arizona was going to need to do today to have a chance to beat the UCLA Bruins.
Were the Cats able to unlock the keys to the game? Let's look at our pregame keys to the game. They are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, Kelvin is taking the night off, so let's. But we'll start with what he thought that the. Well, what is the order? I'll let you. Decide.
You guys, I think went.
I think it was Glenn, Kelvin, me.
I think that's exactly how.
All right, well, we'll start with Glenn then. Let's go with Glenn.
Let's go to the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, you look at the University of Southern California at Los Angeles. Okay,
what is that?
University? There's no Southern in that.
Yeah. University of California
UCLA.
at Los
Angeles.
Okay. You look at their rush defense. They're number one in the country.
Yeah.
The country and the conference.
They're really good.
They're really good. But you know what I say to it? Let's run at them. That's our bread and butter. We should be able to run the ball. We have to not abandon the run. We have to be able to go run. I think run right at them, and let's see. Say our guys are better than your guys. I think we should do that. That's one of my keys. Run the football. Next thing we have to do, we got to get a turnover. We got to catch some interceptions.
We got to catch some interceptions.
Catch some interceptions, okay? And then we cannot have more than three and outs. I say three and outs. We can't have more than three and outs. Offensively.
For the Wildcats.
All right? And then we need, on the other side, we need 2 3 and outs from UCLA so we can get that possession thing going. And then also what I want to see a big play on special teams.
You have as many keys to the game as you do giving out game balls.
For 50, touchdown or something, we got to be able to make a play on special teams. And that's how we win our ball game.
All right. Well, we did make the play on special teams.
Yes.
We got the block from Ephesians Prysock. You got 3 and outs from the defense, including the one to start the game. They deferred, gave UCLA the ball, and got them right off the field.
How big is that, right?
Yeah.
How big is that?
Especially because they had given up leadoff touchdowns the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was huge. And we did not have a single 3 and out the entire game. There was a 4-play drive. They got 1 first down, but that was the only one. What else was there? You said there were so many. I just can't even.
No, we had the 3 and outs on both sides, and then we had to have.
We didn't get a turnover. We didn't get a turnover. No,
we got a turnover, but it was turned over.
Yeah, it was overruled.
It was overruled.
Overruled on that one. And we did run the ball. 35 runs to 32 passes.
We ran
in
the
this
ball
game.
on the number 1 rush defense in the country.
Yeah, well, and that
our guys were better than their guys.
That was one of my keys, which you'll hear shortly.
Yeah, they doubled them up, right? They averaged 63 or something. They had well over 120, so doubled up their average.
All right, let's hear what Kelvin's were.
Big battle like this, you have to win the turnover battle.
Yeah.
I think that the team that gives the ball away and gives with the less plays, the plays are being shrunk down. The team that has the most plays is going to have the most chances to score. So you want to make sure you win that turnover battle. Get off the field on 3rd downs. I mean, that defense has been playing well. I'm sure UCLA want to come in and try to change that, but you have to continue to get off the field on 3rd down and continue to feed the backs. I think this winning streak has came with the resurgence of knowing that the running backs or trusting that the running backs could help lead this team to victory. Continue to feed those guys in the running game and in those little short passes.
Well, again, how do you win again? We didn't win the turnover battle, but we won the game by 17 points.
Yeah.
What's the key element in that, do you believe?
I mean, it was just time of possession, too.
30.
We almost had 10 minutes more time of possession.
That is correct.
Also,
35-25.
Yep.
That third down conversion stat for UCLA's offense, right? I mean, that's got a lot to do with it.
Absolutely. Got off the field again, 8 of 14 on the positive side for Arizona in that respect. And then what were mine?
Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to run the football on this team today. That's going to be an interesting. I'd like to see them. I agree with Glenn. I think you got to try. Yeah, you got to try to do that. But I think this is one of those games where you're also really going to have to use that short passing game to fuel your running game. And so I think Noah Fafita has got to stay above 75. I'd say 75% completions in this game. That's going to keep those chains moving on offense, and that'll help them stay out of those 3-and-outs that Glenn was talking about. So 75%, I think, is what you got to be in terms of completion percentage in this ball game. If you're going to run the ball, I would say let's see if they can run for 100 yards and complete 75% of their passes. I think you've got a chance to win this ball game today with the Arizona Wildcats. And then in terms of special teams, like Glenn said, I would go. I wouldn't. It doesn't necessarily have to be a big play for me. I'll take another 2 of those nice 16 to 20 yard returns from Jacob Count.
Now, I will say that a certain mayoral candidate walked by right as you were doing your keys. And you kind of stopped what you were doing and said hi to all those. So it's a little cut off there a little bit. But I think we got the point.
Yes. So didn't get the return on the special teams that I was looking for. I mean, yet Tetro McMillan had a 9-yarder, made a nice move on it, but didn't get the 10 yards that Jed Fish likes to get. 129 yards rushing. We'll take that, was the number, and 78% completion percentage for Noah Fafita in this game, threw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That slant pass that he threw was just beautiful in the north end zone.
Oh, the one to Cowing?
Cowing.
Yes.
That was just
How was
beautiful.
he so wide open?
Yeah, but he just drilled it right in the window.
You know what I just realized is we've gone this whole show, we haven't even talked about that T-Mac touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
was unbelievable.
That was great.
I knew.
He made a couple of really nice catches in that game.
Yes.
You know?
The one over the middle where he's being held. Yeah, he was being held. But that touchdown, I could tell real time. His foot was in for sure. It was just a matter of possession. But the fact that, I mean, just the way he contorted his body and had turned around the other side, it was just amazing.
And I can't believe I totally forgot this. Is that we hit the tight end in the middle.
Yeah.
We went to the middle of the field.
He got lit up a little bit.
And how open was he?
Dude, he got hit
up in the back when he went high for that ball and got hit in the back a little bit. I hope he's okay. He looked like
but how open was
he? He was open.
I mean, Glenn, they got all those threats out there, and it's like you've been talking for as long as I've ever known you about getting the ball to the tight ends more. But now
middle.
Yeah, and now they got the guys who could do that.
Yes,
guys, not
absolutely.
guy, but guys.
If he would have just thrown that ball just a little bit more arc on it, he could have ran all the way into the end zone.
All right, Tanner McLaughlin is inching closer to the Arizona all-time tight ends reception record, which is currently held by the Hall of Famer Rob Gronkowski. He now has 65 career receptions. That is just 10 behind Gronkowski's career mark of 75. And McLaughlin has 31 this year. That's the 4th most in a single season by a tight end. Gronk also holds that record back in 2008, which was my first season here. 47.
While you're talking close to records, we got to remind people that Tyler Loop made 2 for 2 again today.
Yeah.
So
he has now attempted 48 field goals in his career and made 43 of them. If he makes 2 more without a miss, he is the all-time leading percentage leader in NCAA history.
Wow. History.
Ever.
How about that?
Wow. That's got to be Grozer Award, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a trickle type of thing. So 12 for 12, 18 for 21, 11 for 13 for 15 so far this year, including today.
We'll have to look at that. I'd be interested to see what do they go off? Yeah. Is it just guys that make kicks? If it's guys that make big kicks and that type of thing?
50 attempts in your career. You got to have at least 50 attempts to qualify in your career, and he's got 48 right now. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see, though, how they judge the Groza Awards.
Yeah.
And picking those winners. All right, those are.
Do you remember Lou Groza?
Do I remember Lou Groza? I mean,
I don't know, where was he? He was before the 60s or what?
Yeah. Well, I want to say my dad played with Lou Groza for at least 1 or 2 years
because
in
I don't
Cleveland.
Remember. All I remember, the oldest dude, Stenerud and Belanda.
46 to 59, and then again 61 to 67. So he played a long time.
Yeah. So my dad played 3 years with Lou Groza.
Because I remember Dempsey, Tom Dempsey, and George Belanda.
Yeah.
And and Juan Stenerud.
The famed straight on kickers.
Yeah.
Mark Mosley.
Toe kicker.
Yeah,
right?
Mark
He was
Mosley.
I think he was really the last of the straight on kickers.
Yeah.
All right, those are our keys to the game.
Our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, Glenn, before we let you go for the evening, any final thoughts on this 27-10 win by the Wildcats over the Bruins?
I just want to say that I'm very proud of our Wildcats. They're playing with pride. They continue to. I don't see a cockiness for them. I see a confidence, and I think that they're going to continue to get better. I believe that. I don't think that they're going to slack on their hard work and stuff. And then I want to give kudos to Jed Fish. Question his play calling. He's had 3 games in a row that have been great play calling, and he's done a great job of keeping the defenses. We faced some really good defenses in the last 3 games, really good defenses, and he's just done a great job of keeping them off balance and just letting these kids make plays. And he's just doing. I think he's doing a good job. The play calling has just been good. Him and Coach Carroll, and the offensive line. I'm just proud of those guys, both sides of the ball. And we just got to continue to get better, and we can get 9. Let's shoot for 9.
I agree. He's done a fabulous job calling plays the last 3 games. However, I did not like the play with Jaden Delora.
I was going to say, the double pass.
Well,
the truth is that was set up really well, because if he had caught that, if that pass had been lofted a little bit in front of him, there was a blockers out in front.
Yeah. And what about I just didn't like that one throwback.
Yeah.
That one.
Double pass.
Yeah, we didn't need that.
No. Did not need it.
Bear down, baby.
All right, we will talk
We're
to you.
bowling.
Wait, can we I can't
play that before we go?
Can we I'll play it for the folks before we go. Again, we will talk to you very early in the morning.
Yes,
next Saturday.
I know. Saturday.
We'll talk to you Tuesday. Tuesday, Wildcat Breakdown, game balls. I suspect that you'll give them to the whole team.
No. We just ran out of our budget.
Everybody will be getting a game ball, just like when we had 6 keys to the game. We'll have 6 game balls for Glenn Howe. Glenn, thank you as always. Let's get a break in here. Our final break of the night. We will come back. We will give you your highlights. We had a lot to do in the last segment. We might be going till 2:30. We'll get the highlights.
Thanks.
We'll get the scoreboard. We'll hear from the players and the head coach. All of that is straight ahead.
Sleep well,
Still, it is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Bear down, Wildcats fans. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. This season, Jed Fish will lead the Wildcats into battle, and the only place to hear the game, Wildcats Radio 1290.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
At Standard Restaurant Supply, their vision and number one goal is to improve the lives of their customers and clients by providing a better culinary experience. Standard Restaurant Supply, if it's in a restaurant and not food, they have it. Open to the public, no membership fees, and they offer bulk store pricing without the bulk store purchase. Open Monday through Saturday at 601 South Cherry Avenue or call 885-2345. Standard Restaurant Supply is a proud sponsor of the U of A Radio Sports broadcast.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by.
Pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is the home of the Arizona Wildcats. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, the Arizona Wildcats defeat the UCLA Bruins by a score of 27-10 at the stadium. Let's go back to Arizona Stadium and hear from your Arizona Wildcats in the media room. We'll hear first from the players. Martell Irby and Jonah Coleman spoke to the media after tonight's ball game, again, beating UCLA.
Jonah, I put my camera on you after the game, and you said, we expected this. How is that a different mentality with this program? How much have you guys turned a corner to expecting to win? How much does that define this game?
We've been so close and, like, just right there. Like, our losses is right there, and we know that we're good enough. We know that we can do it. And the mindset is every time we step on the field, we expect to win. It's not, oh, I hope. Oh, nah, we expect to win. We know we're the better team, physically, mentally, anything.
We'll go Michael and then Justin.
A handful for Martell. What was it like to play against your former school?
It was nothing short of a blessing, man. I'm out there having fun. Football is football, you know. I played there when I come out of high school, and now I'm here. You know, it's just a part of my journey. So just to have a little full circle moment, have us going bowling, homecoming, white out with my brothers, you know, it was just a great moment. It was a good moment.
What position were you playing? What was that defense called?
I was playing Mike tonight. I was in the box a little bit. Yeah, so just whatever the coaches bring to me Sunday for the game plan, I buy in, you know, and that's kind of what our whole team does regardless. So, yeah.
What was kind of the strategy behind putting you in that position against their offense?
I don't even ask questions. At this point, if I'm being honest, I trust my coaches top to bottom. Coach Nansen, Akina, AVH, you know, everything that they're busting their butt for day in and day out, you know, so whatever they bring to us, we buy them, make it happen, and we bring home dubs. So I love it.
Justin and then Brian.
So this is another defensive scheme that Johnny Nansen has introduced. What can you say about just the job that he's done this year, just all the different looks that you guys have thrown out?
Nothing short of phenomenal. Just continuing to change things, you know, go with different schemes, everything. You know, he's got a great mind, and it's not just him. It's our whole staff, really, offense and defense. So it's fun to be a part of. I've known Coach Nansen since I was 18 at UCLA, so it's fun to see how he continues to grow as a coach and continues to stack W's.
And why do you think you guys collectively have been playing so well this year?
Because we love each other. That's all. It's not too much. Got nothing to do with the ball. We're just close. We won it not only for ourselves but for our brothers. We all going after the same thing. So, you know, we on board together, and it's a day in, day out grind, day in and day out. So that's why I think we're yielding the results that we have.
And then, Jonah, what was it like going up against UCLA's defensive front?
Good front, move around a lot, but trust the process, and our coaches, like, our goal, we're going to attack them. They got the number one run defense, or number one pressures. We're going to attack them. We want the challenge.
The first drive of the second half, you got a carry on second down. It was a short loss. It was 3rd and 6, and normally that's a passing down, and they hand the ball off to you and you get the 8 yards. What does it say about the trust that the coaches have in you and just the entire offense to get that in a place where it's only a one-score game?
We know, and whatever coach calls, we're going to execute the play. It don't matter the down and distance. Coach called the run and, you know, hit the hole, and it was there. O-line got to push, and, you know, them yards after contact, that's just a mentality.
How has the last month been for you guys? Obviously being 3 ranked teams, but the month, just the ascension you guys have had.
Go first. I'll go. I would say it just feels good. It feels amazing, you know, because it's not just like we've been working since September, since the season started, or August, but this has been since January. Since I got here, this has been the mentality of the team, you know, so, and we don't worry about anything else other than what goes on inside the building. So to be able to be at this point, yeah, you know, we know we have more work to be done, but in this moment, tonight, you know, it feels amazing. We're going to get back to the drawing board tomorrow, practice, full go, you know, so, but right now it feels amazing. This month has been amazing. We're just going to continue to trust the process because that's what's got us here.
They pretty much touched on everything right there, yeah.
Jason and Troy.
Yeah, Jonah, your style of running has been a bruising style. Do you embrace contact at all? I mean, where does your style of running come from?
It's just a mentality, like, make them play, make them not want to tackle you. You know, you keep running somebody over and over and over and over again, they not going to want to keep coming back. Like, make them fold.
Yes, sir.
Literally, that's a mentality.
Troy and then Michael.
One for both of you guys. Jonah, just can you talk about the offensive line and how they're able to kind of progress throughout the game tonight?
It's part of the process. You know, not every play going to go how you want it. You're not going to always execute every play, but it's all about how we finish. And I'm so proud of the offensive line, the team in general of how we finish. Like, we start fast and finish faster, and that's the mentality and the standard. So,
For you, in terms of these last 4 weeks, what has been the identity of the defense? What do you think you guys have kind of gotten an identity over this last month?
I mean, we've had an identity the whole year, defend every blade of grass. Every time you step on the field, just give your all, and that's all we can ask. And I feel like we're headed in the right direction, and we're going to continue to grow, continue to love on one another, continue to buy in, and we'll look up in December and tell you what the end result is.
Michael and then Brian.
One for each. For Martell, how big was that sequence after the block punt, where I think they took over at the 31-yard line and you guys still held them without any points?
Oh, yeah, I remember. That was, I mean, I feel like the zone of the zoo, our team, our environment that we're playing in right now, it was amazing. But at that point, I feel like the stands really got involved, and we just kind of buckled down a little bit more, strapped up. We know that it was a pivotal point in the game, as we feel every time we step on the field. You know, it's a pivotal point. Let's go make a play. So we just trusted our coaches, trusted the calls, got what we need to do, made the plays, and got all. Give the ball back to the offense.
For Jonah, I know you haven't been here quite as long as like Jordan Morgan or Michael Wiley, but still I'm sure you know that Arizona hasn't been to a bowl game since 2017. What does it mean to you and the team to clinch a bowl berth?
Man, it means a lot. Yeah, it means a lot. You know, I was part of the first recruiting class of Coach Fish, and they were 1-11, and all the stuff I got talked about for coming here, committing here, or you could do better, you can do that. But I trusted the vision that Coach Fish had for us, and how we just worked and worked and worked, and no question asked, and how we keep fighting and coming back. Like, man, we deserve it. But, you know, we're not done yet. That's just another checkpoint. We still got, 4 more games left. But it feels good. We're going to celebrate it, and then next person, next team.
Get back to it.
You have a question? Okay, Justin. But Jonah, when you committed, you were part of the first recruiting class. It was a tough sell to you. What was it about the vision that made you buy in at that time?
Just the relationships. Like, every coach was talking to me. It wasn't just my position coach. The relationship that I built with Coach Graham was like no other. And, you know, it's like that all around, you know, the facility. Defensive coaches talk to you, help you out. Like, Coach Nash used to be a running back coach. I can go to Coach Nash and ask him, what do I need to work on? So everyone, you know, working on everyone, and just relationship and trusting the process, you know. That's really it.
And then not only yourself, but others in that recruiting class have made impacts. What have you seen just from, you know, that recruiting class and what you guys have been able to do for the program?
Dogs.
Yeah, I mean, we got some good guys in our class. You know, it's too many to name. Not going to throw no names out there, but trusting in the coaches, development, player development. You know, you want to get developed into a pro and come to Arizona. That's our standard, be a pro. And everyone has accepted that and bought in and, you know, make plays.
Yes, sir. That's our time. So I appreciate you guys. God bless you.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
All right, that is the players after tonight's ball game in the stadium. Arizona wins it by a score of 27-10. Let's give you the highlights on this one here tonight for the Arizona Wildcats. Arizona would score the first touchdown in this ball game tonight. They would do so on a they would do so on a 11-play, 76-yard drive. This came after the UCLA Bruins missed a field goal to try to take an early lead. The Wildcats, though, would not miss out on their opportunity.
McMillan in motion right to left. Fafita will take the snap, looking left, throwing. It's caught inside the 5, down to the goal line, and in. Touchdown, Arizona.
It's Montana Lamonius Craig on a slant route. They brought T-Mac in motion, and you can see UCLA shift their entire defense. They brought 2 people over to cover T-Mac, and they were focusing on him, and Lamonius Craig came underneath him on a quick slant route and just walked his way into the end zone.
TK, everybody knows how good T-Mac is on the goal line. So if you don't go that way, he's going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great chance for MLC. I believe that might be his first touchdown. I'm not sure if he's scored another one.
I'll look it up.
This season, yeah. But Arizona had a 7-0 lead at that point. UCLA got the ball back. They would cross over the first half into the second half of, or first quarter into the second quarter. They were faced with a 2nd down and 5. A 3rd down and 12. It would be at the Arizona 15-yard line.
Out of the shotgun, play fake, Garbers to throw, steps up in the pocket, rolling left, chasing him down, and they sack him back around the 18-yard line. Garbers, nobody open downfield, and the Wildcats all over him. Upshaw got there first.
Yeah, first touchdown for Montana Lamonius Craig. No, second. He had one against UTEP.
Okay. So he did have one earlier. So, and now that was a sack for Tyler Upshaw. Now, the postgame notes that we received said that he has 7.5, but I believe he actually now has 8.5 because we talked about that in the pregame show that he had 7.5 coming in, and he is now just 1.5 sacks away from getting to 10. And there has not been a defensive lineman since Ricky Elmore in 2010, speaking of 10, that has been able to get double-digit sacks. So Tyler Upshaw well on his way to that. So that would set up UCLA with an attempt on a second field goal on the night.
Gleasner, here's the snap. Kick is up, and it's not even going to get there. I think somebody got a hand on it, and the Cats turn him away.
It was blocked. Someone got a hand on it off the edge, but I couldn't quite see who it was, but it was definitely blocked.
Blocked by Ephesians Prysock. Indeed, the game would stay 7-zip.
Prysock for a minute there, DK, looked like the best player that's ever played football. I mean, he had like a series of 5 plays, man. That guy was all over the place.
Yeah, he is really starting to come into his own in his first season as a starter. So the Wildcats would get the ball back, and they would proceed to go down and attempt to take the lead, but they couldn't. They would have to punt the ball away. Teams would, in fact, exchange punts. Wildcats would get the ball back with 4:34 to go in the first half. They would need just 7 plays to navigate the 61 yards to take a 2-touchdown lead.
And Fafita out of the gun. He'll take the snap, straight back to throw. Fires the pass, end zone, caught! Cowing, touchdown, Arizona.
That was an absolute dime. Jacob Cowan runs a quick slant route, and Noah Fafita throws a strike right down the middle. Touchdown, Arizona. Momentum, Arizona once again.
Yeah, he was just absolutely wide open on that slant pass. Arizona up 14-0. UCLA would, though, get their only touchdown of the game. 8 plays, 75 yards. Ethan Garbers would find Carson Ryan from 14 yards out to make it 14-7 at the half. Arizona would get the ball to start the second half of this ball game, and they would go right down 14 plays, 55 yards. The drive would stall in the red zone, but Arizona would still get points.
Here's the snap, ball down, kick is up, plenty of distance, and it is good.
It's a great job by Arizona. Again, finishing off the drive, getting points out of it. That's the most important thing here. UCLA's defense stiffened when it needed to do it, but Arizona was still able to get points out of the drive.
17-7 after the 37-yard field goal by Tyler Loop. UCLA would get the ball back. They would drive down into the red zone, and we're facing a 3rd down and 4 from the Arizona 4-yard line.
And Garbers now. Steele started out split wide right. He comes back now, lines up in the backfield to the left of Garbers. Garbers takes the snap. Here comes the rush, and he is sacked. Tried to get rid of the ball. Throws it. Intercepted. Picked up by the Wildcats right at the goal line. Prysock got it. Arizona takes over.
Another play by Ephesians Prysock. Unfortunately, that one would go under review and be overturned. So the Bruins would kick a field goal in that spot right there. It would be a 29-yarder by Blake Glesner. It was 17-10 Arizona at that point in the ball game. Now, when you look at this, the way that things would go from here, now the Bruins would give the ball back to Arizona. They would flip it over 3rd quarter to the 4th quarter. And Noah Fafita was faced in this situation with a 3rd down and 8 from the Arizona 40, and he would find his big man over the middle.
Straight back to throw. Has some time. Waiting. Now cranks it downfield. Got a man open. McLaughlin the catch. First down to the UCLA 31-yard line. He gets hit hard in the back. Hangs onto the football. And the Wildcats, big play. First down.
That is a big-time play. Fafita finds McLaughlin right down the seam of the defense on a deep. It was just a straight seam route in perfect pass, and McLaughlin took a hard shot to the back. Probably knocked the wind out of him.
He's going to get sore
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah, he's going to be in the. He might have been in the cold tub after the game. That would end the third quarter. Wildcats would start the fourth quarter and need just 2 plays to find the end zone.
2 receivers left. Cowing started in motion. Fafita takes the snap. A little pump fake. Going for the fade in the end zone to McMillan. Did he catch it? I think he did. No, they say he was out of bounds.
Oh, boy. They got to look at it because he did catch it. Yeah. But the question is, where was his feet at?
Yeah. The official said he was out of bounds. We're going to look at the replay here. And he goes up. Catches the ball,
That's
1 foot down. I tell you what, they better look at that.
That is a touchdown. As long as he possessed the ball, that's a touchdown.
It was indeed ruled a touchdown after review. 24-10 at that point, Arizona was in the lead. UCLA trying to get things going on their next drive, but they would be put behind the chains on the very first play.
Back to throw Garbers with time, and he's sacked from behind. Pulled down. What a game tonight for Deuce Davis. Russell Davis, the sophomore out of Chandler, with a big sack.
Deuce Davis is becoming a great pass rusher. I mean, the more and more, he's starting to really make a lot of plays.
Russell Davis got that sack. A tough night for Bruno Fina out of South Point Catholic. He was the one that Davis beat on that sack. Bruno also had a couple of penalties, false starts in the contest tonight for the junior tackle for the UCLA Bruins. So that drive would stall. UCLA, though, would block a punt. They would get the ball deep in Arizona territory. Wildcats would stop that drive as well, and then Arizona would go down to try to salt this game away, and Noah Fafita would find Speedy Luke on a big gainer.
In motion as a wide receiver. He'll get the pass. Luke sheds a block out to the 30. Speedy Luke down the near sideline. He's got one man to beat. Cuts it back inside. Luke to the 25, to the 20, to the 15. Finally caught from behind. First down, Arizona.
What a play that was dialed up by Jed Fish. He had Speedy Luke go in motion, and he was wide. They threw it to him in the flats, and he just accelerates up the sideline.
That's why he's speedy.
Yes, he is.
All the way to the UCLA 11-yard line.
Arizona would kick another field goal there, a 22-yarder by Tyler Loop, as he continues to just be very efficient kicking field goals for Arizona. 27-10, and that would be your final. Arizona knocks off the Bruins to become bowl eligible for the first time since 2017. Let's go back down to the stadium and hear from the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Jed Fish.
Let's get started. We're bowling, so that's a great way to start this thing off, and we're excited about that. We're excited about getting to that spot. 6 wins is a big deal, and for us to get there 9 games into the season, really excited about that. I thought we played a really good football team tonight, and we played really good. And when that happens, good things go your way. And I thought our guys were ready to play all week. They were excited. They'd been excited. Our defense played fantastic. 10 points. Our offense had 430 yards and 5 for 5 in the red zone and 11 of 16 in third down and 300 yards passing and 140 yards rushing or 130 yards rushing. Just really an overall fantastic game. I thought the 2 missed field goals early, the block field goal and then put pressure on the other field goal, really were big-time plays. Unfortunately, we let up that 1 touchdown at the end of the half. Otherwise, it was as good of a game as I've been a part of here. I've said that now a few weeks in a row, and I think that's what makes it cool. That we could keep saying we're getting better. We're getting better. We're not content with where we are. Our goal is to be better next Saturday at 12 o'clock in Boulder than we were tonight at 7:45. But we will enjoy this one. Our team enjoying it right now. And then, as I said, then we get back to work. And the best thing about this is we get to do it again next week.
What's it been like to the process of getting the program into a position to where you can finally say it's going to a bowl game?
Long and hard work and unbelievable amounts of commitment from our coaches and players. Our coaches, the staff we hired knew they were coming here to rebuild a program. We didn't hire them in a spot where they felt like they were just going to walk in the door and we were just going to go win. And, you know, it takes a lot of people that want to do that and leave their jobs to do that. They all, a lot of the guys we hired were in winning programs when we hired them, and they chose to trust us and trust what we were going to get done here. And then we went and recruited a bunch of great players when we were 1-11. And to get that class of 22 to come here, and I'll continue to brag on that class for forever. When you see all those guys, I mean, I think 15 of them are starting right now, or 14 of them from that recruiting class alone, and they're only redshirt freshmen or sophomores. And that class just believed, and they believed in what we were trying to preach. And then the transfers coming in that really gave us, you know, first of all, that gave us that glimmer of hope a year ago that we were going to start being able to do this. This game a year ago was a huge game for this program when we beat them in the Rose Bowl. You know, when we played them there, week whatever, 10 or 9. And I just think that it's been a crazy process of knowing that it was going to be long and hard, and really proud that our guys are where they are right now.
Jason and Matt, Jed, after beating the ranked team for 3 straight weeks, do you believe that your team deserves to be ranked?
Yes, I think we should be ranked. I really do. I think we've earned that right. You know, 16 points is our entire margin of defeat this season, and you take that. You know, you have 2 overtime games, both of which were on the road, and a home loss against the number 5 team in the country by a touchdown. When we were at a bunch of new starters for that first game, I think that our team has proven that they deserve to be in that conversation, and hopefully tomorrow we'll find out if we are. And if we're not, we'll just have to go to work and try to win the next one.
Jed, there's a difference between hoping to win and expecting to win. And Jonah Coleman said after the game that we expected this. Is that expectation, is that mentality representative of the turning point in your program?
Yeah, I think that's where we are right now. Our team goes out there. Our team believes we're going to win every game we play. And I think that they've proven that to themselves that they can. I don't think there was any doubt. And I really do. I look at this year's USC game as a turning point in our program for this season, because I think we went there, we were a 22-point underdog. And we go to triple overtime, we take a 17-0 lead, we wind up losing the game 43-41, and everybody ran into that locker room with a sense of, we belong. And when you feel you belong, then you go into every game after that with an expectation to win. When you feel you don't belong is when you have to hope and pray. And I think our team right now feels they belong. I think we're 8-4 in the last 12 games we've played, and we're going to continue to see if we can build off of that and see how we can do these next 3 weeks.
Noah Fafita had the interception early, and then he really steadied himself after that. Can you explain what happened on that play and then his response to it?
Yeah, it was zone coverage, and he wound up reading it wrong, and he just kind of came back off the field. He said, "Did I miss him high?" And I said, we just misread the play. The play should have gone to somebody else. And but he was very quickly, he snapped right back. I think Jaden said to him real quick, "Hey, those are the times you want to look for your running back. If you saw it was zone, you could hitch, live another day." And then we kind of all just reset, and we just said we go to the next play, and he's reset. And wound up making some great decisions the rest of the game, made some spectacular throws. I mean, the throw to Tanner down the seam on 3rd down was ridiculous. The catch that T-Mac made on the 3rd down early in the game was fantastic. And then, obviously, the throw that Noah made in the end zone off to T-Mac that got overturned was just – the ball was put in the only place the ball could have gone for that catch, and then T was able to come down with it.
2 questions. First, 3rd down you had in the second half, It's 3rd and 6, and you decide to run the ball against the Pac-12's top rush defense. What's the choice in going to that, and why did you continue to stick with the run despite knowing what you were facing?
Yeah, I believe in our running game, number one. I believe in what we're trying to get done. I think sometimes you get caught up a little bit. To be honest with you, about 4 weeks ago, I was watching the Ole Miss-Auburn game. And Lane and Hugh Freeze, both of which I respect offensively, I think they're fantastic. We're running the ball a lot more than I ever do on 3rd down. And I said, I got to start thinking about this a little bit more. That maybe I'm missing something, maybe a little bit too NFLized. In the NFL, you just don't run the ball on 3rd and 2+, you know. But I just started looking at it more and more and just started believing in certain runs and certain concepts. And it was a time that we were able to hit the run, and it was a great run by Jonah. You know, Jonah made us look good on that one.
You had 3 stops in the red zone on 5 trips. Already, I think, 10 or 11 this season, where there's only 7 last year. Where has this come from, the red zone defense?
Well, you know, remember in training camp, we talked a bunch about the fact that we started in the red zone this year. And we committed the first 5 days of training camp practice was going to be red zone offense, red zone defense. And I think we're probably in the top 5 in the country on red zone offense. And on defense, we're now sitting there in a spot where we're keeping guys out of the end zone. You know, we're sitting at about 70%, where last year it was about 90-something%. We've been stopped twice. I think we're 35 for 37 on offense in the red zone. Last year we were 90th in the country. So we made a big commitment, and we really believe that you get what you practice. And when you practice and you believe in red zone offense and red zone defense, I think we're reaping the benefits now.
You mentioned running the football against UCLA, but can you talk about the offensive line, how they're able to get better and better throughout tonight's game?
Our offensive line, and it was great to see Raymond Polito out there. Raymond, this was his first game that he really played other than that 1 quarter against Stanford as a true freshman. So we were able to have a redshirt for 2 freshmen at the 2 guard positions, and then a sophomore at tackle. And to be able to see those guys keep getting better, when you're talking about going against that rush defense and you're playing 3 guys that are under the age of 19, it was pretty cool to see it. And to see how those guys have grown under Coach Carroll. Coach Carroll's a fantastic line coach, and he's done a great job at developing. If you look at Jordan Morgan's development, if you look at Jonas Sevenea's development, if you look at all these guys' development, Coach Carroll has just done a fantastic job with that.
And then defensively, just seeing how the defense has kind of gotten its own identity over the last couple weeks, just the job that Nanson's done there.
I mean, Coach Nanson and the staff have done an incredible job. And where we were to where we are is as big of a jump as what we made in 21 to 22 on the offensive side of the ball. And, I mean, you're talking about an enormous leap of success. And we're playing with a bunch of guys. We rotate guys. You could see probably 18 to 19 players every week defensively play. And Coach Nanson, Coach Cecil, Coach Aquina, Coach Kafusi, I mean, that group, and Coach Richardson bringing those 2 new coaches in heavily play. Huge impact. Coach Nanson, Coach Cecil, Coach Aquina, Coach
Kafusi. Multiple guys in the program that are playing large roles for you that are here with the huge impact not doing well at all. What's it mean for you, like guys like Wiley and Dalton and all that, to be able to kind of to coach them to a bowl game and give them that on their way out?
Yeah, Mike Wiley, Jordan Morgan, Traden Stukes. Those guys, you know, stand out of my mind of guys that just believed and stayed the course. And they wanted to be here and wanted to be with us and and they are everything you want in a football player and in a person. I mean, I always brag on Mike, Eller graduate, came back, does an incredible job, 2 winning touchdowns last week, fights back to injury, everything you asked for. Jordan Morgan. I mean, this is a psychological game with Jordan Morgan. This is when his injury happened when he played UCLA a year ago. Came back and just played fantastic. Those guys were here when it was tough, and all they did was just work and believe and trust the process, and I think that's a huge part of it.
Last question, Justin. 2 questions. How effective was the scheme with Irby playing tonight?
It was good, I guess. We held them to 10 points, and they scored 7 in the 2-minute drive. So I would say very. And we'll continue to use the right personnel groups that we can use to be able to get all of our players on the field. And what a great win for Martell Irby. Graduated from UCLA, came here. Tyler Manoa graduated from UCLA, came here. DJ Warnell transferred here. Big win for Coach Nansen. Big win for Coach Doherty. Big win for Coach Kafusi. Just a great win for all those guys. Really proud of them.
What was your perspective just seeing the whiteout crowd and atmosphere and having all the alumni in town?
Yeah, I need to apologize for not starting with that because that was awesome. That was the best environment that we've had since I've been the head coach here. The crowd was great. They were into it. They stayed. They were fired up. The student section was awesome. I hope we don't have to beg for sellouts. I hope they just start happening now. And what a great deal to get Gronk here. That was awesome. The Wildcat Walk was by far it was incredible, the Wildcat Walk this week. Our kids embraced it, and our kids loved it. And appreciate all of you guys staying until 11:30 every weekend. Hopefully we can get an earlier game in 2 weeks. We'll know on Monday. But other than that, we're just going to keep grinding, keep working, and keep filling the stadium up. So thanks, I appreciate it.
That is the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Jed Fish, after a 27-10 win over the UCLA Bruins. Let's take one final call here and hear from Mauricio. You're on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Yeah, thank the Lord Jesus can save from hell and get to heaven. Yeah. The voice of the coach, it wakes you up like praying with Jesus. You got to stay awake and not be asleep like a war, It is, and the game was great. The team improved a lot in defense, offense. Now we see that U of A has gone to that next level where they're an excellent team, where they play a very good team, and now they win. It's not close no more. So we've gotten past that now. We're winning even better by 27-10. The quarterback played great, getting that perfect pass in there where the tight end had enough room where 1 foot was in. And then the improvements of the defense, yeah, we did hear about that. And just keep going forward. About 3-4 papers ago, it said about Rich Rodriguez. He went to 5 bowls, thinking it was 2 bowls, and so then it was since 2017. And here, by this win already, we were qualified. Yeah, respects to Deion Sanders. He's a man of God, and we play his game. His team is coming Saturday. The next 2 games, we're there to win, just like any team. Like I mentioned, the Saints, they fight to win. That's those blessings too. You gotta fight, never give up. Keep praying, and life better too. When you're with God, you're more peaceful. You got your heart filled. Only He can. You just gotta continue that momentum, that positive, strong. It takes a strong mind too, as physical. When Walter Payton would do those movements from his head to his body, like. He was a great warrior athlete. Went to heaven now. He's the first running back before Jim Brown and Barry Sanders to go to heaven. Hopefully, everyone chooses to, which is part of God's love. Everything, I'll stay with I appreciate it too very much for I can share my faith. I appreciate you all very much because some don't really allow you to share your faith, and
Mauricio,
we understand.
You just said you were really happy about the positive direction that the program is going in. I like your positive attitude. Every time you come on the air, you're always full of positivity, and we always love to hear that.
Yes, that's God. I thank God door too is open. He said tremendous souls will win together, just like our prayers reach players like Deion Sanders and Michael Irving. When he was in a point where Junior Seau, unfortunately, had thought and attempted suicide, and just began to pray for him, and Adrian Peterson, prayer after prayer was answered with Adrian Peterson. For instance, just last year, prayer was done for him for he would come back. He came back with Tennessee Titans when Derrick Henry, Warrior too, was injured with a hurt or broken bone in his foot, and and Adrian was called, answered the call, and then after that he went with Seattle and did some coaching. So prayer sure works. Prayer.
You named a lot of players in the NFL. You haven't named Mark Bavaro yet. Could you give us a Mark Bavaro?
The great Mark Bavaro.
I'm praying that he gets saved. I was looking at his highlights, and then it mentioned that he had thoughts of dying, and so I pray for. I keep him in prayer too.
He's your favorite, right?
Saved,
Mauricio, Mark Bavaro is your favorite player? Yeah.
Yes, always will be. I pray that Tebow was as tough as him, that he would be tough too, spiritually, mentally, to be Christian too. Christian. I pray for him. Prayers, of course, works and important and first. Things above, it says Colossians 3, like 1-3, where it says, seek the things above, not the things on earth. These things are temporary, and things above are forever and for heaven, of course. And thankful, saved from judgment, saved from the hell, and just looking forward and staying awake with Jesus, always praying.
Mauricio, you know what I'm thankful for? I'm thankful for next Saturday. You won't have to stay up till 2:40 to talk. 2:40 in the morning to talk to us on the postgame show.
Yeah, Mo, go get some sleep, Mo.
It's used to.
Go.
I'll be ready for church tomorrow too.
There you go. I'm
bright and early.
You'll be up for church. Thanks, Mauricio. We love you, brother. Appreciate you calling.
Thanks,
Thank
Mo.
you so much.
Thanks, likewise, and God bless us all more. Thank God.
Absolutely. Thank you. Indeed. All right, let's take a quick look at your scoreboard in the Pac-12.
Here is today's Pac-12 scoreboard, brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery. On Wildcats Radio 1290.
Man, there were a lot of overs today, just not here in Tucson.
Yeah.
Washington, number 5 Huskies beat USC 52-42, 94 points in that game.
Wasn't it like 40-38 at halftime, something like that?
It was 35-28 at halftime. Yeah, I mean craziness there. So Washington 9-0, 6-0. USC loses for the third time in 4 games. They fall to 7-3 on the season. Oregon 8-1, 5-1. They beat California 63-19 in Autzen today.
Can't run your way out of that.
No, Bo Nix threw for 4 touchdown passes in that game. Oregon State goes on the road to Colorado. They win 26-19. The Beavers rank 16th. They are now 7-2 and 4-2 on the season. Arizona State, we mentioned early in the show, gets beat up at Salt Lake City against Utah, 55-3. The Utes ranked 18th in the country. And then the other game outside of the game that took place here was Stanford going on the road and beating Washington State 10-7. The Cougars fall to 4-5. Stanford is 3-6. So that is your scoreboard for tonight. A couple quick comments on Facebook we'll get through here. Danny Hauglin checks in, says 5 top 25 teams in a row that the Wildcats have played. 3-2 is not bad. BTFD. I saw a few of those hats
I
on,
bet you
on
did.
campus today.
Bet you did.
Yeah, I think the girls like that. The girls really like that hat. They seem to be the ones that wear that hat a lot.
Yes.
Robbie Don checks in. Great win, guys. Bear down. Dave Hickey's going to have to lock Jed Fish up because the big money teams are going to start noticing him and try to poach him. Hopefully he is like Lute Olson and wants to be with this program that he built and stays. This team is a few plays away from being 8-1. Amazing. We're not thinking about that, Robbie.
They're just
We're not
getting
thinking
started.
about it.
They're just getting started.
We're not going to live in the few plays away mindset. 6-3, we'll take it, and we'll go from there. Any final thoughts, J-Dub?
I just want to reiterate what Glenn said. I'm not an alumni. I didn't play sports at the University of Arizona, but pride is, I think, the word that comes to mind. I'm just so proud, mostly for the players and for the coaching staff and just what they've put together. You talk about those guys all buying in, showing clear love for each other. DK, the defense alone, just the way that they're all moving as one unit, just amazing how much they're all on the same page. And no infighting, no big plays, giving up broken coverage, all that kind of stuff. Just everybody's on the same page. Really, really proud of how they played today and really proud of just how they've been playing all year long. And I'm glad that the people of Tucson have recognized the sound in that stadium, like Coach said right there. Might have seen some thin areas in the top, but the crowd that was there certainly made their presence felt on those third down plays for UCLA. And really had an impact on that game. So proud of the Tucson for showing up, but mostly proud of the team and those players and the coaching staff for what they've accomplished thus far.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A great homecoming Saturday, a great 109th homecoming here at the University of Arizona. I'm sure that although the bars have closed here in Tucson at 2:43, I'm sure there are still parties going on throughout the campus area, and be safe out there. Tonight. That is going to wrap up our coverage here for this evening. We will be back with you. In fact, I'm going to take a 1-hour nap, and then I'll be back with you at 4 a.m. for Tucson in Review. So join us for that.
You're going to go in your office on the couch?
Yeah, I'm going to go lay down on my couch, and then we'll be right back here. Tucson in Review. We got another great show coming up for you at 4 a.m., a little bit earlier than normal because we've got the NFL international game coming up for you later this morning, and that will our coverage there will begin at 7. And so officially we are now in out of daylight savings time across the country. Obviously we don't observe that, but it still does affect us in terms of some of the stuff that we carry in national broadcasts. So we are on the air at 7 a.m. for the Miami Dolphins and the Kansas City Chiefs from Frankfurt Stadium. You can hear that game right here on Wildcats Radio 1290. And then that's a 7:30 kickoff, and then a 7:30 a.m. kickoff, and then we'll be back with you at 5 o'clock this afternoon for Sunday night football. The Buffalo Bills and the Cincinnati Bengals will kick off with that game coming up at 6:20. Thanks to all the folks that helped out today on site with us on campus. Obviously was Bobby and Lisa. J-Dub back here in studio along with AJ Camacho. Most of all, thanks to you for listening. Once again, your final score, the Arizona Wildcats in front of 44,956 fans on homecoming Saturday at Arizona Stadium beat the UCLA Bruins by a score of 27-10. For Glenn Howell and Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden, I'm David Kelly. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll talk to you, Jed Fish, Coach's Show, 1:30 on Monday, and then our first basketball pregame show, the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day basketball pregame show on Monday at 3 o'clock, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Morgan State Bears. We leave you. We're going to head back to Arizona Stadium and into the Arizona Wildcats locker room just a few hours ago to hear the final sights and sounds that always come from a winning locker room at Arizona.
Hey, let's go! A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Bear down, Arizona! Bear down, and blue! Bear down, Arizona! Hit 'em hard, let 'em know who's who. Fight, fight! Bear down, Arizona! Bear down, and blue!
Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you in part by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, the Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, and University Termite and Pest Control.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing.